Hey guys, Infidel1258. So I just released a video an hour ago from the Splinter Fest event where one of the town hall questions was around the fact that they're gonna burn packs. When they release Rebellion, they're gonna set a certain number that they're gonna sell, and at 9 months they're gonna say anything that's left is gone. It's gone forever. I think this is a gigantic step forward for controlling our economy in a logical way and making sure that the number of packs released are appropriate for how big our economy is. Either the number of packs is gonna stick around and keep sitting there, or it's gonna just disappear and we'll have a period of time where there's no pack, and that's good for us because if you have cards, you will be the source of all profit, because as a card holder, the new gamer is going to need to come to you to equip themselves, to play the game, to have fun, and to earn. And so that's why it's exciting. But I saw a comment that I thought was important to speak to. It was, I don't know if it's fair to say it was salty, but it certainly felt that this new idea was bad. So let's read it together. And I'm going to do my best to, as I do hopefully always, to thoughtfully and reasonably respond to that criticism, because it's so important when we disagree with one another that we actually work through that in a respectful way to hopefully find truth. So let's read the comment and then we'll answer it, or we'll attempt to respond to it. Okay, so this was the video. Packs will be burned, Splinterlands. And I love this face guy, by the way, this meme face. Oh my goodness, it cracks me up. But anyways, Jason says, and Jason's been subscribed for 8 months. He's been here for a while. Thanks, buddy. And so let's read the comment. And it's a longer one, but it's worth it. He says, I don't see how this is good at all. When they mentioned throwing a dart at the board for deciding the number of packs, the inference is that they were not sure how many packs are required. I guess that's kind of true. Yeah, they don't really know how many packs are required, right? They never know. They chose 15 million packs for Chaos Legion, and they were hoping it would sell out in a year. It's going to take longer than a year, I think, right? Or I forget when they released it. November of 2021. And so right now it looks like it's going to take longer than a year for them to sell out. And so there seems to be, you're right, an acknowledgement that they don't necessarily know how many packs are required. That's true. So far, I agree with you. What makes them think that adding an arbitrary length window where you can buy packs is an improvement? I take issue with this word arbitrary, because I don't think it's, while you're technically accurate, it is arbitrary. They're just grabbing a number. They're saying 9 months is what they want the packs to be available, and then 3 months no packs, and 9 months pack, and so on. While it is technically arbitrary, I don't agree with the implication that it's completely random or totally thoughtless, because that seems to be undergirding, and maybe Jason would disagree. I really don't want to put words in his mouth, but I just feel as though that word implies the sense that there was, no thought or no way to provide thought around what that length should be. And I think there absolutely is justification for saying a 9-month window. And we may need to talk more about that, but let's pause. Let's put a pin in that and we'll keep reading the comment. The point of releasing X number of packs is because you anticipate the player base will grow to a certain fold. Yeah. Cutting off a pack release early is going to lead to the same problem which resulted in Modern and Wild Split. Cards which are perceived to be relatively cheap now, like Obsidian, will become far more expensive for people entering the game. I think that's true. I don't see that as a bad thing. In order to rectify this, they will need to flood the market with new pack sales and far more than 15 million KS packs in order to satisfy a reasonable entry point for new players. I disagree. And I think you've made a mistake in that sentence. You are saying on the one, what I'm hearing is, and again, Jason, if you feel I'm off, I'd love to see a comment on this video. What I'm hearing you say is, if they want to allow affordability for new players, then they should want to have packs available for the players to buy. Chaos Legion's part of that. And yes, the price of Chaos Legion cards has fallen, and therefore some of those summoners are very affordable. And that's a good thing for new players. You cite Obsidian being relatively cheap now, and that it'll eventually be more expensive. I think that's true. I agree with your thinking on that, but then you suggest that They will need, you said, quote, they will need to flood the market with new pack sales with far more than 15 million chaos packs in order to satisfy a reasonable entry point for new players. No, it's about the window. If you say to the new players, at the January of every year we release a new pack for Splinterlands, then there's going to be rebellion on, let's just say January for easy sake. For 9 months you have to buy that pack, and it's going to have 10 million packs or whatever. Maybe eventually it's 20 million packs or 50 million packs, but let's say it's 10 million because Chaos Legion is going a bit long. They tried 15, maybe that was too many. Maybe we tried 10. Maybe we try 15 again. Whatever the number is, you say for 9 months you have to buy this thing. And during that time, you're going to see what you just described. You're going to see that the card is perceived to be relatively cheap, like Obsidian, and it'll become far more expensive later because the pack goes offline and because the appreciation goes up due to burning and the deflationary mechanic of this entire game. So you'll know that you have a 9-month window within which to take advantage of those prices, and a 3-month window that you can't take advantage of those low pack prices, those low card prices due to huge supply. That's what happens, right? A new pack gets released and millions of new cards are dropped into the ecosystem and people buy them, and that gives you, let's say, 50 to 100 new options to buy. And now the card market gets, all of our buying pressure gets diversified across a large number of cards, and as a result, every card, the price suffers because there's only so much money to go around, and there's more and more and more assets with which to draw our attention, and therefore each asset, the price goes down. That's deflation. That's the literal definition. That's a price is going down because the supply, the existing supply is outgrowing the existing purchasing power, and the prices will fall as a result of it. So you're right. You're right about how that'll happen and why that'll happen. But then you suggest that they need to pump out more and more and more packs. No, because on this predictable timeline where we say for 9 months you can have your pack opportunities, that will be the new people's chance to get in. And the 3 months is going to be tough. You're right. You seem to be implying it'll be really tough for a new person to start during the time when there's no packs. And I think you're right about that. But then they just need to wait, or they need to rent, or they need to something and wait. And I think more than that, and you don't talk about this in your comment, I think what we'll see is that we'll see our investors in this game understanding the window of operation, right? They'll know by January, every year I'm getting a new pack. I need to prepare myself financially. I need to get myself squared away, get my finances in order so that I can take advantage of this new pack, assuming I like Splinterlands that much. And that coordination of buying pressure will, I think, help. It'll be a consistency. It'll be like a pulse for how the game is growing. And you're right. You're right about some of the tone around how this is. They even say throwing a dart at the board. They totally are joking there. Like you got to hear the tone of how they say that. It's not by any means totally random, but it is to some extent a guess. And that is just the nature of this game. How could you ever say we know exactly how many packs they're going to want? That's not a reasonable request. And so we shouldn't even be aiming at that request. We need to understand that we will never know the precise number of packs that will be desired by the market. And so this idea of saying, well, after 9 months, you lose all of those remaining packs is going to mean that, one, there's consistency, and there's like a window of operation for getting packs and a window with no packs. And I think that's good for card holders as well as people who want packs. And then you have to remember, if the market doesn't buy the packs within the 9 months, it means the market doesn't want to. That's a free market mechanic at work. If we don't buy those packs in that window of operation where we have access to that pack, maybe those cards aren't that good. Maybe our audience isn't that big. And so it almost is, in my mind, it's a perfect idea. We create, perhaps too much supply. We're trying to do our best. Hopefully it's the exact number of packs we all want, and it gets sold out in exactly 9 months. But then again, if we're wrong, it gets burnt down, just like we did with Waka, just like we're going to do with TD, just like, you know, and then again, this is great for you because you've got other cards in the game, and those are going to appreciate because the people have to come to you. And that's going to be that historically has been a moment when we get new player adoption because they see what the card prices can do. They see how the inflation, the assets within this game can appreciate wildly through their deflationary nature. We've explained it before, but one more time, these cards they are released with X amount total supply, and that supply shrinks and shrinks and shrinks because we are constantly combining cards to make higher level monsters. That is a deflationary nature. And while the supply of the card is shrinking, the player base is growing. That is a recipe for price appreciation. And when those card prices go wild, that's when the community around that are observing but not participating become intrigued, and they get excited about getting involved in Splinterlands. And that's when we see significant player growth. That happened in August of 2021. And I think it's going to happen again the next time we see a significant 3-month window where there's no packs at all. And so I think I just totally disagree with at least not some of your, I guess, like I agree with many of your points. You know, they admit that there's a degree of uncertainty and a guessing game of how many packs. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree that, what else did you say that I agree with? The cards are cheaper while there are packs out, and that's good for new players. I agree with those. Are two big points you made, and I think those are important for me to say publicly. Yes, I totally agree. But you then jump to the conclusion that we should always that if we do a 9-month window, that's somehow going to be bad for you and for me. And I just don't follow that logic. I don't see where you justified that argument. And I have to therefore just kind of reject that conclusion. And it seems to me, again, there's going to be a predictable window that we can prepare for. As investors, I want preparation. I want to know when I can see these cards. Plus, from the development standpoint, for them to be on a window, to have a 3-month window, okay, we know we need to have our packs ready in 3 months' time by January. It's a deadline. It allows the art team to get it coordinated. It allows the lore team to get coordinated. It allows the, Matt or whoever else is helping develop the abilities and stats for the cards to figure things out and to make it all balance. I think the game would benefit on so many levels, and so would the players, by making a repeatable and consistent and reliable schedule for the game and when our packs are released. So I just don't follow your thinking there, Jason. Thank you for the comment. It was a great comment. You didn't leave your IGN, but if you see this video pop up and you watch it, please drop a comment with your IGN. I will send a thank you. I super appreciate you and everyone else dropping their comments to support the channel. You guys know this, but if you're new to my channel, we go through the Splinterlands content that are left by you guys, these comments and these questions, because even when they're maybe particularly when they're in opposition to my own feelings, because it can be helpful to me to kind of learn, or maybe for me to help you learn. So it's just part of being part of this community. I think it's super important we wrestle in this way so that we can figure out the truth, really. So guys, if that sounds interesting, and if you enjoyed the video, especially if you watched to the end, like and subscribe. Have an amazing day. God bless.